Since 1901, Jewish National Fund has made its mark all across the land of Israel. JNF built communities where there once was only sand, found water solutions for an arid land, created jobs throughout the country, and turned the desert green. Every footprint that Jewish National Fund makes, that you make, starts with a strategic vision of a better future for Israel, its people, and the Jewish people everywhere. These footprints tell the stories of Israel's rich history and create a path for the Jewish leaders of tomorrow to follow. In the North, we are changing the narrative to entice people to move and create a home for tomorrow's generations.
The entire region is coming to life through food, agriculture, tourism. This is the place to be.
Look at this place. My business is thriving. It means that more people have jobs and we have the chance to live in this beautiful place. What can be better?
In the center of Israel, our footprint helps immigrants new and old. Nefesh B'Nefesh helps Olim launch their new lives in Israel.
When I made Aliyah, this hub helped ease my transition into living in Israel. It helped me build a community, find a job, and make friends. I can't thank you enough.
On the border with Gaza, JNF went where no man had set foot before, and from sand, created life.
JNF's footprint is everywhere. You helped us build medical center, greenhouses, kindergartens, daycare centers, women business centers, playgrounds, synagogues, and much more. All that to keep our Zionist future and spirit alive.
In the Arava Valley, deep in the Negev Desert, we have become a world leader in agricultural and environmental innovations.
You helped us turn even the most barren region into fruitful farmland.
In the Negev Desert, we are creating a new South.
Ben-Gurion had a dream that Beersheba will become the capital of the South. Jewish National Fund has made Ben-Gurion's vision a reality.
In the Negev Desert, we are creating a new South.
Ben-Gurion had a dream that Beersheba will become the capital of the South. Jewish National Fund.
Negev Desert, we are creating a new South.
Shabbat Shalom and welcome everyone to the Jewish National Fund Virtual Shabbat Experience. Welcome, I'm Rabbi Lawrence Dermer.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Robin Dermer, Florida Plan Giving Director and Alexander Muss High School in Israel alum. Thank you for joining us this evening for our Gould Legacy Society Holocaust Remembrance Shabbat. We are so glad that you've tuned in. Tonight, as we remember as one Jewish National Fund USA family, we want to thank everyone who's already a member of our highly acclaimed Gould Legacy Society and honor all of you who are celebrating your birthday in the month of April. It's our hope that when you saw your name on the slides in the beginning of the service, it brought a smile to your face and filled your heart with love, knowing that because of you, Israel shines brighter. For those of you who are new to Jewish National Fund USA and who are joining us for the first time, welcome. We're so glad you've tuned in. You may know of us because you've planted or received a tree in honor or in memory of a loved one, but what you may not know is that planting trees, while vital to the land, are just 4% of what we do at JNF, Jewish National Fund USA. But trees are 100% a metaphor for who we are and what we stand for. Since 1901, we've been planting the seeds in our homeland, watering them and watching them grow for future generations.
Jewish National Fund builds medical centers, communities and housing infrastructure, parks, schools, community centers, and helps people with diverse disabilities. JNF supports economic development initiatives that pave the way for thousands of Israelis to move from the crowded center of the country to the Negev and Galilee.
We bring people together, regardless of their background, political, religious affiliation, or ability. We bring people together, people like all of you, people with a shared value system, a common history, and a positive vision for the future of Israel.
Tonight, we are so blessed to share a moment in time with our brothers and sisters from all around the country as we celebrate what our ancestors have observed for thousands of years and called the most important, the holiest day of the year, Shabbat.
Tonight, as we light the Shabbat candles, we remember the days when the world forgot to be their brother's keeper. We light these candles to rekindle God's flame and shine his light upon the world once again, to sanctify the memories of the millions of souls, to honor their prayers and all their lost aspirations and goals. We bless their existence by being here this evening to light these candles as proof we survived. If you have candles at home, please prepare them now. As we watch the illumination, let us be reminded that as one flame, we are connected to each other throughout the world and throughout time as one people. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Amen. And we rise together in body or spirit and greet the bride of Shabbos with the mystical words of Lecha Dodi. B'nai Shabbat, B'nai Shabbat, Nekabelah. Shalmo v'zakor, b'diburecha, ishmianu el ha'miuchad. Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet ve'leitila, ol echad odi likrat kala, b'nai Shabbat nekabelah, ol echad odi likrat kala, b'nai Shabbat, b'nai Shabbat nekabelah. Oy v'shalom, ateret bala, gam basimcha utzohala. Toch emunei am segula moichala, moichala. Ol echad odi likrat kala, b'nai Shabbat nekabelah, ol echad odi likrat kala, b'nai Shabbat, b'nai Shabbat nekabelah, b'nai Shabbat, b'nai Shabbat nekabelah. Please be seated as we continue in prayer with the words of the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach churutei, v'yamlich machutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon, u'v'chayedecho bet Yisrael, bagala, bagala, u'v'zman kariv, ve'emro amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach, le'al amulal me'al maya, yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei d'kudsho bericho, leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tosh bechata v'nechemata, dahamiran be'alma ve'emro amen. In Jewish life, we light a candle on the anniversary of a death of a loved one. We cannot here tonight light 6 million candles, as dear as the memory of all those who perished is to us. Let us then light 18 candles, 18 chai, to symbolize life, so that the lives of those who perished go on with us. Let the light of these candles signify that we remember, that we will never forget. Their memory shall burn bright throughout all time. For as long as we live, they too will live. For they are now 6 million souls that are a part of us, and in our life, we remember them.
The human spirit is the light of God. As we take a moment to reflect on the illumination of these lights and imagine 6 million candles, each one with the name of another Jew. Each candle would signify a unique and precious soul who struggled and had hope, who loved and was loved, who was part of a family, a brother, a sister, an aunt, an uncle, a mother, a father. They worked, studied, took walks. They stopped to smell the roses, laughed, cried, and found joy in the ordinary things of life. They were all a part of the Jewish people. Each one suffered. Each was murdered. They are lost forever, their light extinguished. We are their light now. Only by our remembering can they live again in our hearts and minds. Only by our coming together as a community in prayer can their souls live on throughout the generations.
Once again, we rise in body or spirit as we enter this sacred Shabbat space and join together in the words of the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu, et Adonai. Adonai, Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach, Leolam, etz Adonai hamemorach. Baruch Adonai hamorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai hamorach le'olam Please be seated. The history behind the melody for Ani Ma'amin is one of the most powerful stories of faith during the Holocaust. The melody is attributed to Azriel David Fastag, who was a chazan and was recognized throughout Warsaw for his beautiful voice. Along with his neighbors, friends, and family, he found himself inside a crowded cattle car en route to the infamous death camp, Treblinka. Over the noise of the train's wheels, you could hear the cries of people gasping for air and desperately clinging to life. But in Azriel's cattle car, headed for Treblinka, the sounds of despair had been replaced by the sound of singing. Ani Ma'amin is a song of unwavering faith, with a message that ultimately God will cause good to prevail over evil. In Azriel's time, the entire Jewish nation was on its way to be exterminated. Completely helpless, armed only with the spark of faith as its weapon for illumination within the terrible darkness.
Singing Ani Ma'amin is an affirmation that faith is what makes hope a possibility. As Jews, we believe that justice and peace will reign. We believe in the sun even when it's not shining. We believe in God even when God is silent. We believe, nonetheless, we believe ruthlessness and arrogance will cease and the glory of humanity will be revealed. There will be peace within our walls and serenity within our homes. Even marching to their deaths, Jews lifted up their voices in a song proclaiming their faith in the coming of the Messiah, when peace and justice will reign on earth for all humankind. I believe with perfect faith. I believe in God's love despite our struggles and challenges. I believe with absolute faith in the power of love. Ahavat Olam is the love-affirming foundation we build our lives upon. It is our connection and love for the whole world.
You are the creator of day and night. rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Uma avir yom mevi laila, uma avdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai Tsevaot shemo, el chai v'kayam. Talmidim lo chaleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch ata Adonai ha'ma'arim ha'ravim. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ata Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu lemadeta Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Anchata Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu Adonai Eloheinu B'shachbeinu V'kumenu Nasiach Bechokecho V'nismach B'divrei Toratecha Uv'mitzvotecha Le'olam va'ed. Beit Yisrael Amcha ata Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu lemadeta. When we lie down, when we rise up, this joy will last forever. When we lie down, when we rise up, this joy will last forever. Beit Yisrael Amcha ata Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu lemadeta. Ve'ahavat kodesim memenu le'olamim Baruch ata Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Once again, we rise in body or spirit. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. seated as we continue in prayer with the words of the Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha b'derech uvshochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha vehayu letotafot beinenecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvishavecha leman tiskeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem ahani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lehiyot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem. Hannah Senesh was a young Hungarian girl who migrated to Israel in 1941 to study agriculture. As World War II progressed, she became deeply concerned for the welfare of European Jews. She enlisted in the Jewish Brigade in the English Army in a select group of paratroopers. Her mission was to enter Hungary to rescue Jews who were being prepared for deportation to Auschwitz.
Hannah was arrested at the Hungarian border, imprisoned and tortured, but she refused to reveal details of her mission. Of her last known poems, she wrote, "There are stars so far away that we only see their light long, long after the star is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, even though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up even the darkest nights, those are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways to remember." And in the month of July, Hannah wrote, "I will be 23. I played a number in a game. The dice have rolled, I have lost." In 1944, at the age of 23, Hannah was killed by a German firing squad. She refused a blindfold, instead choosing to face her murderers in the moments before her death. This next piece is based on her poem.
Eli, Eli, shelo yigamer leolam, hachov v'hayam, rishru shel hamayim, v'rak hashamayim, tefillat Adam, achov v'hayam, rishru shel hamayim, v'rak hashamayim, tefillat Adam. Oh God, my God, I pray that these things never end. The sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash we remember the countless numbers of our people who have suffered unspeakable agonies and death. Some were silent sufferers, and some rebelled. All were murdered. Some are still remembered by friends and loved ones. Others have vanished with no earthly remembrance. We ask that you will remember all of them, that you will hold them in your heart, that they will find their peace with you.
God of our fathers and mother, our eyes are now witness for the suffering of Israel. Our hearts have been torn as we mourn for our people. We will not forget one single thing. We will not forget to the last generation, so as not to ignore threats to our people and all human degradation. We will remember, or we would have learned nothing at all. By recalling, we're choosing to love and be loved, respect and be respected. By practicing patience, acceptance, and tolerance with each other, we're choosing to make tomorrow better than yesterday. Our common history reinforces our values and ensures our future. Each week on Shabbat, we reaffirm by remembering, envisioning, imagining, and connecting. Tonight, we come together to remember with words and song, heart and soul, Torah and hope. We come closer to each other and God with an unwavering faith, as our ancestors did as they crossed the Red Sea so many years ago.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר הקודש, לא תהילות אוסף אליהם, אוסף אליהם. מלכותך ואהוב עליך, בוקע ים לפני משה. מלכותך ואהוב עליך, בוקע ים לפני משה. עד יעקב עלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נא ישראל.
We have heard that millions were torn from their homes, removed from all that was familiar, and relocated with an unimaginable, orchestrated cruelty that stretches the mind. We have read the books by Viktor Frankl, Primo Levi, and Elie Wiesel. We've witnessed firsthand the testimony of survivors. All of us who live in security cannot envision the horror of being uprooted in a world of uncertainty. Each of us who enjoys comfort cannot possibly comprehend the endless depths of pain and suffering. For those of us who seek to know, we will still struggle to understand how it possibly could come to be, how humanity can be so inhuman. Millions of Jews and others were torn from their homes, but they will never be torn from our memory. Today, they rest in the silence of our shared recollection. As one Jewish National Fund USA family, tonight, we pause to stop and reflect on the loss, the tragedy, the pain, the suffering for so many. The question we have to ask ourselves, the question that we must ask ourselves, is what are we doing to bring that to an end? What are we doing to make the world a better place? What are we doing to ensure the evil of history won't ever repeat itself? What are we doing to invest in education and see to it that the world will never again see such atrocities? What are we doing to ensure the voices of the past are heard and peace will prevail? With the power of love and the conviction of positivity, we can see to it that the voices of all those who lost their lives in such a brutal way are remembered and are heard. All of us can turn darkness into light by being charitable, doing acts of goodness and kindness, lighting a candle, even if it takes a few tries, or partnering with Jewish National Fund USA. By partnering with Jewish National Fund USA, you can be at the forefront of ensuring that change and making sure that no one ever forgets. Whether it's $18 or $18 million, your contribution makes a difference to the future of Judaism. Up until a few years ago, there were still many survivors, people who were in Auschwitz and Bergenwald, survivors who remembered what it was like and could tell us firsthand. Today, it's more important than ever to support Israel and come together to remember, because those survivors, for the most part, they're no longer physically with us. But what they've left us with is a Jewish homeland and a legacy of writing and poetry, music and song. Their legacy throughout the Holocaust is not just a reflection of those who created and were inspired during turbulent times, but it's a testimony to the lives of all the Jewish people. Music, for example, demonstrated people's struggle to create, their struggle for hope, and their yearning to communicate their feelings and thoughts as a reminder of who they are and the person that's buried deep inside, despite the circumstances. During the Holocaust, music expressed their humanity as well as helped them keep their sanity. The compositions they left behind are a living testimony of hope, faith, and life. The songs that were sung throughout the Holocaust, some of which you heard here tonight, were a constant reminder that God is closer to each of us than our breath. Just as the comfort of knowing that every heartbeat that's tuning in today is a constant reminder that we are a people very much alive, despite our history and the horrors that were experienced in the face of extinction. Today, we're reminded that we are a people with a bright future, and Israel is our proof. This next piece, Souls Live On, is an original Holocaust remembrance song that Lawrence and I composed. It was inspired by a poem I wrote in response to the writings of Viktor Frankl, Primo Levi, and Elie Wiesel, whose common positivity bias and theme of faith was an inspiration. Souls Live On tries to answer the unanswerable question on all of our minds. Why and how can God allow a Holocaust to happen? As you listen to the song, try and imagine all the voices of those who came before us. See them standing here in front of us, challenging us to permit them to live on through our actions, demanding that we make a difference and do our part to transform this world to a place of peace and harmony.
Left my wife and daughter standing there. Smoke and ashes filled the air. Heartless soldiers, hateful men, told me that I'd never feel their love again. Tattooed a number where my watch had been. All that they left me with was what I held within. I knew we'd dance again like on our wedding day. Nothing on this earth can take my faith away. Seems to me it didn't have to be. I close my eyes and hear the cries. I know he has a plan, I just don't understand. Millions gone, maybe souls live on. Lifeless shadows, the scent of fear. Cold and hungry, too numb to shed a tear. I watched my people taken one by one. Prayed to God I'd live to see the morning sun. Seems to me it didn't have to be. I close my eyes and hear the cries. I know he has a plan, I just don't understand. Millions gone, maybe souls live on. A bullet couldn't touch the soul, hunger wouldn't starve the soul, fire couldn't burn the soul. Souls live on, I know he has a plan, I just don't understand. Millions gone, maybe souls live on. Millions gone, maybe souls live on. We rise in body or spirit as we join together at the Ark for the words of the Amidah.
Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Leah v'Elohei Rachel Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chazdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevii Geula Livnei V'neihem L'ma'an Shemo V'Ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Abraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'elam Adonai Mechaye Hakol Atah Rav Lahoshia Morid Hatal Mechal Kel Chayim Bechesed Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Berofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Apar Micha Mocha Baal Givurot Umido Melach מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים אתה קדוש בשמך קדוש וקדושים כל ים יללוך סלה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated as we ask God for his healing presence in the lives of those who need it most. We have prayers for refuah shleiman, refuah hanefesh, a healing of body and a complete healing of spirit. If you have a name at home or somebody that you wish to include in our thoughts and prayers, please speak them on your lips at this time as we say, may the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen. Sheberach imotenu mikor habracha limotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. With refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Once again, we rise in body or spirit as we join together at the ark in the words of the Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגול עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, דהיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
God, full of mercy, grant infinite rest beneath the wings of your presence in the great heights of the holy and pure, who like brilliance of the heavens give light and shine for the souls of the multitudes of men, women, boys, and girls who were killed, slaughtered, burnt, suffocated, and buried alive in the Holocaust. May Gan Eden be their resting place, and may they be protected in the shelter of your wings for eternity, and bind their souls with the bond of life. God, you are their inheritance, and may they forever find peaceful repose in their resting place. And now, as we recite Al-Mali Rachamim, we call out to God to lift up the memories of all those who were murdered in the Shoah, and to fulfill our sacred obligation to never forget.
El Male Rachamim Shochen Bamomim
עמסי מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה, עם קדושים וטהורים כזוהר הרקיע, מזהירים את נשמות אחינו וחוטאינו שנגבו ושנשחטו ושנשרפו בגאותו ובמחניות, החשמדה בעבור שאנו נודרים לקיים את זכרם לדור ודור ולנצח נצחים. בהרחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמותיהם. אדוני הוא נחלתם וינוחו בשלום על משכבם, ונאמר אמן. At this hour we recall all who have passed before us. We take them into our hearts and give them a place beside the memories of our loved ones. They are now ours. May their memory be an enduring blessing to all your children. As we say Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. We rise in body or spirit for the words of our mourners Kaddish. Together, Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach v'utei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayeichon u'v'yomeichon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agala u'v'zman kariv ve'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lolmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata de'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace for us all and for all Israel. And let us say amen as we remain standing. Raise our cups high for the words of our Shabbat Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'ma'aseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techila l'mikrahei kodesh, zecher letziyat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'ratzon hinchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha'shabbat. Amen.
Before we do Motzi and Hatikva, we wanted to take a moment to wish the following people who let us know that they would be celebrating with us a happy, happy birthday. Edgar Moran, Randolph Meyerson, Alan Pristup, Joy Weinstein, Rena Merkin, Sharon Longbert, Ann Stein, Michael Kurtzig, Dara Gordon, Miriam Weiss, Neil Malamud, Rick Krosnick, Alice Ginsberg, Norma Finkelstein, Carla Schulman, and Amelia Rechtman. Thank you. On behalf of Russell Robinson, Chief Executive Officer, Saul Lieserbaum, President of Jewish National Fund USA, and all my colleagues, we want to thank the Gould Legacy Society April birthdays and our entire Jewish National Fund USA family. We'd also like to thank Boris and Bella for their wonderful accompaniment, and Diane and Chuck Kaufman, thank you. You bring so much to our services. To find out how you can become a member of our highly acclaimed Gould Legacy Society, visit us at jnflegacy.org. And please visit jnf.org for a variety of on-demand programmings that are both informational and inspirational. There's something there for everyone, even an opportunity to shop from the comfort of your couch at our mitzvah marketplace. And now, please stand and join us for Hatikva and Motzi.
Kol od balev apenima, nefesh Yehudi omiya, ufatze mizrach kadima, ayin et Sion Sophia. Lord, tikvatenu, hatikva shnot habayim, liyotam chofshi be'arzenu, Eretz Sion Yerushalayim, liyotam chofshi be'arzenu, Eretz Sion Yerushalayim. Now, as we thank God for the sustenance He has provided to us, we join together in the words of our Motzi. Motzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful blessing is sung. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. 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 Rabbeinu Chai, O Rabbeinu Chai, O Rabbeinu, O Rabbeinu, O Rabbeinu Chai, O Rabbeinu Chai, O Rabbeinu Chai, O Rabbeinu, O Rabbeinu, O Rabbeinu Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am